Now loading podcast, period.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's stupidest podcast. My name is Ben, and with me today, as always, of course, perpetually, forevermore, and some other conjugation. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. David is here.
Forevermore and will always be the one and only David. What's up, guys?
The only one that will put up with me long enough to record an hour-long podcast. But for more than one time.
I don't know what that says more about my tolerance or your stupidity.
I don't know, but I don't want to dwell on it. Let's keep going. Okay, so me and David, obviously, as the story usually goes, we got some news topics for this episode. The first one that I wanted to look at, because I think we talked about it on an earlier podcast, the Robert Pattinson being cast as the new Batman. Did we talk about that?
I honestly don't know.
Well, either way, whether we did or not, they some set photos got leaked, and if you've opened up the link, David, this is probably the dumbest looking Batman cowl I think I have ever seen. This is so bad. Like, it doesn't even look like he can see through the eyes. And then the little bat ears that he's got going on look more like devil horns than anything. It's so ugly looking.
This entire costume just looks terrible.
The rest of the costume isn't too bad. Well, the forearms are looking pretty ratchet, but the chest piece and the shoulders and everything else that I can see looks okay. We've had some close-ups of the other stuff, like the actual bat symbol is apparently made out of a gun. But oh yeah, you can see it on the third picture here. But the rest of it just kind of looks a little jank.
I'm sorry. This just looks terrible. I can't get behind that.
I like the bat symbol. I like the shoulder pads. The bat belt is okay. Even the little like splines on the forearms are okay, but the actual, I don't know what the heck that is. It's supposed to be on his forearms.
Missiles, maybe? The heck if I can tell.
I don't know. It looks really, it doesn't even look real. It looks like a Batman costume. At least that part looks like a Batman costume if you were to buy it from Spirit Halloween or something.
Exactly. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks so cheap and fake.
It's so bad.
I'm sorry, the whole thing just looks too big and bulky and cumbersome to even be able to have any agility whatsoever in this thing. I mean,
it looks relatively close to the Batman films that we got in the 2000s, the ones with Christian Bale. But the design doesn't look anything like it. It's still pretty bulky. Because it's meant to be armor padded and whatnot, but I don't know. They could have done a lot better on the costume design as far as I'm concerned, especially on the cowl. That just looks god awful.
Yeah,
I don't know who okayed that design.
I'm not okay with that. It looks like a rubber sex suit or something. Is what it honestly looks like.
Yeah, it does. Look, I can see the seaming on the cowl. It just doesn't look right. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is supposed to be a one piece, as far as as it's been portrayed so far. But this is just bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What else did you have to say about that?
I don't think there is anything else we can say about it. Let's be real. It just doesn't look good. Oh boy.
Time to move on from that.
Yep. All right. What do you have?
Alrighty. So, actor Steven Seagal, which I did not know that he was some weird ambassador to Russia. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's weird. He's a.
I knew who's that one basketball player. Oh no, that's not Russia. That's North Korea. That basketball player is like an ambassador to. I can't even remember his name. It's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. God, keep talking. I'm gonna figure this out.
Anyways, in August of 2018, he was named a Russian Foreign Ministry special representative to improve relations between Russia and the U.S. But anyways, he did not legally disclose, as required by SEC regulations, that he was promoted by a Bitcoin company. It's called Bitcoin 2 Gen. So it's like Bitcoin 2nd Gen or something like that. Mm-hmm. He was promised $250,000 in cash and $750,000 worth of tokens for touting the initial coin offering from the company. So he did not legally disclose that he had been paid for representing the company. It's like paid sponsorship is basically what he did. But he didn't disclose that he got paid for said sponsorship, which you legally have to do here in the U.S.
Is he getting penalized or something?
Yes. So he has agreed to settle the SEC's allegations without admitting or denying wrongdoing, and will pay a $157,000 fine, and then the same amount in gosh, I can't even say this word now. Disengagement? I don't know. I think that's like another word for reparations, but I'm not positive. So
$157,000.
Yeah, so $157,000 fine, and then the same amount in disengagement.
Okay.
Disgorgement.
So essentially like $300,000.
Yes.
Apparently,
which is about a third of what he apparently earned.
Apparently his net worth is $15 million, so it doesn't really sound like he's going to do a whole lot to him.
It really doesn't.
Oh, that basketball player I was thinking about, Dennis Rodman.
Oh, okay.
That's the dude that went to North Korea. Apparently he's like infatuated with North Korea for whatever. I don't know if they're paying him or what, but he likes them.
Interesting.
Okay, so next we've got something that's been like in the news for a long time now, especially considering the trial's been going on for a little while. The Harvey Weinstein trial has finally been concluded. So he didn't get convicted of everything, but considering how old he is and what little he did get convicted of, he's essentially in jail for the rest of his life.
Okay.
So the jury acquitted him of predatory sexual assault charges involving two of the accusers. They also were not able to find beyond a reasonable doubt that he was guilty of raping actress Annabella Sciorra. Sorry for mispronouncing the name. I'm sure I did. But they did convict him of a criminal sex act in the first degree, which in doing so he faces a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 25 years in prison, and a charge of rape in the third degree, for which he faces no minimum prison time and a maximum of 4 years. So if he gets the max on everything, he'll be in prison for 29 years, which hopefully he does.
Considering he's what, 60-something?
He's 67.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 30 years would put him at 97, so 96 if he gets the full 29.
Yeah.
He'll probably be dead by then.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. And the worst part is, the whole time that this trial was going on, this guy was, like, perfectly healthy, didn't need to do this, but he started walking in the courtroom with, like, a walker, all hunched over, trying to pretend like he's frail and infirm. This dude is just a gigantic scumbag. It's ridiculous.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
How long did they deliberate? Was this a quick turnaround, or did they take some time?
This was 26 hours over 5 days. So it was not. This wasn't like them going into the court or into the room for like 3 hours and being able to convict him, which I'm not sure how I feel about, because I feel like I get that a jury is supposed to be impartial and everything, but considering how long he had been doing the things that he'd been doing, and how little he was actually like charged on, even not even convicted, but just brought into the courtroom on, I feel like they should have just nailed him to the wall, just stuck everything on him.
I don't know. But maybe it took them a long time to figure out what they were comfortable and what they wasn't comfortable with actually putting on him. Like, there's probably some of them that was like, no, I'm convinced he's done this, but couldn't get others to agree. So they just went with what everybody felt comfortable with. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you got to do. You have to have a unanimous agreement decision in order to. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
So that's probably
you can't
what it
have
was.
One single person say no. If one single person says no, then you cannot convict. So I imagine there was probably a bunch of back and forth on what they were and weren't comfortable with actually convicting on.
Yeah. But either way, this is a pretty landmark decision as far as the whole Me Too movement is concerned, because I think this is the first court case that's gone on that's actually convicted somebody. Has Bill Cosby been tried yet?
Yes, and convicted.
Okay. So still, this is a pretty big decision.
Not
big case
positive what he was convicted for, but I do know that he was convicted for some things.
What a gigantic fall from grace that man had! Like, seriously, that's crazy.
The Cosby Show was amazing.
I know. You watching the Cosby Show, you would think that he's like the ideal father.
Yeah,
you know, and then
it turns out this has been happening.
Going like 20, 30 years down the line, you hear about all the awful stuff that he's done. It's insane.
Yeah,
it is insane. Okay, well, let's dig out of this little depressing hole here. What did you bring?
How about this? Star Wars Battlefront 2 gets a complete Baby Yoda mod.
Oh.
So there's a mod for Star Wars Battlefront 2 that replaces BB-8 with the most recent, probably the biggest new character introduced into the Star Wars universe in quite a while. I don't know anybody that doesn't love Baby Yoda. The memes are amazing. Everything is amazing. So
I enjoy the character, but I don't understand what the point of modding him into the game is. Like, what is he gonna do?
I now that I don't know.
What is he gonna waddle around and then like pick people up and gently set them back down on their feet or something? Oh, I guess he does choke somebody in the show, but I don't know. Does that really need to be Baby Yoda's main move?
I honestly don't know what they're doing with it. I mean, they're replacing BB-8, so I guess I don't know. Is he going to help you or something? I don't know what BB-8 does in this game either. I've never played it, so
yeah.
Whatever.
I know all of the like actual Star Wars characters are supposed to be like hero power-ups. So if you get enough, I don't know exactly how you activate it, but one way or another, you turn from like a rebel officer or a stormtrooper into like a hero corresponding to whatever side you're playing on. So if you're a stormtrooper, you can turn into Darth Vader or Boba Fett, or if you're a rebel officer, you can turn into like Luke Skywalker or Han Solo or whatever other characters they've got.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So
I understand the motivation. I just don't see the reason.
Yeah. So other things introduced with this mod is a complete new UI and special effects. There's a second mod available that you can download that improves on the first mod. That actually goes in and changes the star cards in the game. The ones that are meant for BB-8 to Baby Yoda cards. So,
okay.
There's things that go into it. Apparently, the render that they used for the actual article isn't the best. It kind of looks bad on the front end, to be honest, but supposedly in-game it actually looks like a really good character render. So,
Battlefront 2 is a very pretty game. I haven't played it, and I probably won't, considering its reputation, but from what I've seen, it looks very pretty.
I decided I wasn't going to touch it the minute I found out what EA did with it, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You and me both. Okay, so now to get back down in the dumps.
Aww.
GDC has been canceled after more than half of the people that were originally slated to.
Oh no! Okay, don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't
say it. Don't say it will demonetize. Kidding, but apparently that is a demonetization flag because this is
really
this is a special issue, and there's been a bunch of people on YouTube demonetized for saying the word you're about to say. So don't say it.
Oh, well, I mean, we don't make any money off of this anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So go right ahead.
So it was canceled after more than half of the original participants decided that they weren't going to participate anymore because of the coronavirus.
Oh, God! Oh, I'm dying. But in all seriousness.
Oh, man, now I'm not going to make my 3 cents off of this episode. Darn. Not even. You can't get monetized until you get 100 or 1,000 subscribers, which we don't even have close to, so it's all good. Anyway, so Amazon pulled out, Epic pulled out, Facebook pulled out, Unity and Sony and Microsoft all pulled out. So they just decided, I think like yesterday, that they were just going to postpone it.
When is GDC supposed to be?
It's not canceled.
Originally.
When was it originally supposed to be?
Because I don't remember when they do GDC.
It doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
As far as I can tell. But they've pushed it until. Oh no, it was in March. They're postponing it until further notice.
No, so they haven't even said when they think they might do it again.
Yeah,
gotcha.
No, they haven't decided yet.
Aww.
So, I mean, it's okay, I guess. It sucks, but at least it's a postponement and not like a outright cancellation. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this whole thing is kind of overblown anyway. Let's be real, but I mean, good for them for thinking about the health of their contractors and employees. I can't say that I blame them. However, I do believe that this whole coronavirus thing is like blown way out of proportion.
But Ben, it's not though. The media wants you to be scared about everything.
Listen, David, that's not true. Why would the media want me to be scared? The media is my friend.
How many things have they said over the years that are going to, quote, kill us all?
Well, I remember Ebola was going to be one of them.
Ebola, Zika virus,
SARS. Yeah, Zika. Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to that outbreak of measles?
Oh, yeah.
That was just last year. I haven't heard anything about that in a while.
I mean, that could still happen. You've still got all these stupid anti-vax people all over the place, but God, I don't want to go on another rant about the anti-vax people because it's so I shouldn't have to. That's the thing. I shouldn't have to rant against it because it should just be common sense. But apparently it's not. Like I'm gonna end it by talking about a Facebook post or I think it was a Reddit post that I saw. It was absolutely hilarious. So it's like a screenshot of a Facebook post, and I guess it's like in this anti-vax Facebook group, and literally all it says is, "What about if instead of injecting chemicals into our children, what the doctors do is they inject a little bit of the live virus into the children so that they can build immunity to the virus." And then the caption under it says, when you circle so hard into the anti-vax that you end up inventing vaccines.
I've seen that one, and I just about died.
It was so good. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that. It's like what kind of junk are you reading that you actually believe that that like mercury and like cyanide is getting injected into infants' bodies, like for real?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
Oh boy. Okay. So what else you got?
Alrighty. So this just happened today. So I'm sure there's probably a bunch of people that will be very annoyed being reminded in a week that they've lost their Fox regional sports networks on YouTube TV.
Ooh. Oh boy.
But this brings up a good point of the whole promise or the whole idea of actually paying for YouTube TV was to get live TV. Sports was probably the one thing that you'd actually want to watch. Like everything else, you could just go on Hulu or you could go on Netflix or whatever other streaming service you have. Yeah. And who cares if you watch something the next day that's, quote, pre-recorded? Who cares if you miss the episode of The Good Doctor tonight and you see it tomorrow? But sports.
I prefer waiting for like episodic TV until it comes out on Hulu because then I can just watch the 44-minute episode that comes out
instead of having to deal with the ads.
Yeah, exactly.
And I am good with that. But who's going to go watch last night's game against this team versus that team a week from now because they missed it last night because they can't watch it on live TV
the only thing you can really do that with is like wrestling because it's not something that's so heavily like in the mainstream that you're going to hear about it all over the place.
Yeah.
And it is something that you can go back and watch even like a week or two after it's been out. But a football game, God forbid.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're gonna see the score like freaking 2 seconds after the final buzzer.
Yeah. So YouTube TV is losing a decent chunk of its sports programming They are losing the rights to regional sports networks from Fox and the Yes Network, all of which are owned by the Sinclair Broadcast Group.
Okay.
And they're losing it just because they're unable to reach a new carriage deal, which is basically referencing the fact that, what was it, Amazon? Or is it Roku? Roku pulled off Fox News stuff from their platform the last episode because they couldn't reach a carriage deal. It's like, oh great, now the carriage deals are going to the streaming services, and
Fox Sports and Fox News they're like owned under the same corporation, right?
No.
So when the Disney split happened, Fox News and Fox Sports went like their separate ways.
It is not the same anymore.
Okay. So
to the best of my ability,
who owns Fox Sports then? It's not Disney. I know you said it was the Sinclair broadcasting thing, but did they just auction off all of the parts of it?
I'm not entirely sure how that's different than what, because the part of Fox that everybody knows Fox to be is the Rupert Murdoch part of Fox, and that's the one that just got like heavily sliced in half, with half of the whole movie division going to Disney, and the news corporation of it staying its own thing. Their sports has been separate for a while, to the best of my understanding, but I don't know why.
Okay. So that wasn't a factor in the whole Disney merger thing.
I don't think so. I think the sports was separate long before that ever happened.
Okay. Well, either way, this whole thing kind of boils down to what we were saying before on the last episode with Roku. Just buy an antenna. I mean, if you're out in the middle of the boonies, then you're kind of SOL. But if you live anywhere within a decent radius of like any major city,
buy an antenna.
Even like a semi-major city, just buy an antenna.
Yeah,
you'll be just fine. And they're even releasing new broadcast standards soon. You get 4K, 120 FPS, sports goodness on your screen. Not that I would agree with you that it's goodness, but whatever.
But they do get to keep ESPN, MLB, NBA TV, things that CBS and NBC own. So there's still some sports on there. It's just the Fox stuff is gone for now.
It will remain to be seen how much of that is actually going to matter, It
won't.
Because I mean, they're not going to broadcast all of the football games, Whatever. I don't care anyway. They are not I am not their target demographic.
Nope. Neither am I, nor do I care.
Okay. So, last story for me. Is an interesting... I don't know if it's an update to the story that we were talking about last time about Plague Inc., but apparently China has pulled Plague Inc. from the iOS App Store in China.
Oh.
They haven't given an official reason why. It just says that
but we know why.
It includes content that is illegal in China as determined by the Cyberspace Administration of China. Never mind that the game has been sold there since its inception, I'm 100% sure. The developer, Endemic, says that it's not clear to us if the removal is linked to the ongoing coronavirus outbreak that China is facing. But it certainly seems like the most likely proximate cause.
You think?
It's so stupid.
If there's not a stronger case of cause and effect out there in the world right now, then I myself will eat my foot. Mm-hmm. You cannot tell me that is not related.
It's the most blatant case of like cause and effect in world news right now, I think. Like, it's hilarious that their state-run media thinks that nobody's going to make that connection, but it's very clear to anybody in the West with like a functioning brain that like clearly A is the cause of B. There's no like weird logic in there. They don't want people playing the game that simulates a plague outbreak in China where there's a plague outbreak. Duh.
I'm sorry, you lost me. I couldn't follow that. Could you explain that to me again?
Do we need to go back to kindergarten, David? 2 + 2 = 4.
No, it equals
That's what
fish.
we have here. Red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. There we go. It's a little bit of Dr. Seuss for you. So dumb. Oh man. Okay.
Do you think it took him a PhD to figure this out?
Certainly didn't take us a PhD. Okay. What's the last story that you have?
Well, in the second biggest obvious case of causation and affection here, the Dow plunges 1,100 points, bringing a decline from a record high to more than 10%, and that was in one day. Oof. That was one day plummet, and that was Thursday's plummet. So that brings it to the biggest one-day drop the Dow has ever seen since Monday, when it lost 1,031 points.
Wow, that is hilarious.
So in 5 days, the Dow has dropped more than 10% from its record high, bringing it into market correction. The NASDAQ has also dropped significantly and is in correction as well. So,
wow.
Don't check your 401ks if you have them, guys, because believe me, I cried. It was terrible. It is the first time that my thing has been valued below cost.
Ooh.
I have now lost... Well, I haven't lost money because of a certain company gracefully and graciously adding 4.5% match to it. So I haven't lost money yet, but it's close. It's like, oh great. So we lost 1,031 points on Monday, 879 points on Tuesday, a measly 123 points on Wednesday, and everybody clapped and celebrated because that's all it lost. And then we lost 1,190 on Thursday.
Man.
So it went from over 29,000 down to under 25.
Oh boy. Gotta love it,
$10
right?
to whoever guesses what caused that correctly. China not looking at you because you clearly don't know how to do this.
No, I'm sure it had nothing to do with the coronavirus, David. That's not true.
Yeah.
It's global warming. That's what caused it.
The entire market is down. Apple, Intel, and Exxon were among the worst performing Dow stocks Thursday, dropping at least 6% each. Oof. AMD and Nvidia fell 7.3% and 5.6% respectively, just on Thursday. American Airlines dropped 7.7% and United dropped 2.4%. Las Vegas Sands and MGM Resorts fell 1.3% and 4.5% respectively. So the entire market's in free fall. Good job, media. You have now just made a lot of people lose God knows how much money over a stupid flu. Where the regional flu has killed more people in the entire United States than has probably been infected in China alone. And yet, this is a problem. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
It's a big problem, David. Very big. So big. Listen, they have to have something to sensationalize. Just give them this.
I'm so tired of it. I can't deal with the media anymore.
Oh man, gotta love it.
But other than that, it'll all recover when they stop overreacting to this. There's companies saying that they're going to be out of stock and stuff as soon as mid-April. If you're looking to buy computers or computer parts, buy them now. Because this summer is going to be horrendous. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we don't see product delays on launches and stuff. Because Intel's supposed to come out with new stuff. AMD, I'm sure, is coming out with their graphics card soon. And the new Ryzen 4000 series chips. Apparently Nvidia's got 3000 series RTX cards on the way. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if all this doesn't get pushed back now.
If not delays on launches, there's going to be delays on production. Yeah, more than likely.
Exactly. I mean, China's not gotten back to work yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that we've got literally all of the coronavirus stories out of the way.
No more! We survived.
Today's episode of Podcast Period is sponsored by, well, you. We've recently started a Patreon to help offset some of the costs of running the podcast, and you can be a part of it for as little as $1 a month. We have an exclusive Discord server, community events, a Minecraft server, and you can access episodes early as well. If you want to help out the show by throwing some money our way, just head to patreon.com/podcastperiod. Again, that's patreon.com/podcastperiod. Now back to the show. We're going to move into our discussion topics. So this little section is where David and I just think of something to discuss, and then we discuss it. So I'll go first. My discussion is more of like a question, but it's a discussion. I don't know, whatever. What do you want to see next from the Star Wars franchise as a whole?
I think it's too soon for a new trilogy, especially considering how mishandled the last one was.
Yeah.
There needs to be a cohesive plan from the get-go. That way, even if there is a mid-trilogy director change, there's a plan in action, and all they have to do is do a little bit of free interpretation of said plan. But at least you don't have to do what you had to do in episode 9, which was backtrack the entire 20 minutes of the first half of the movie because garbage.
Exactly.
I'd like to see more games from somebody else besides EA because of reasons. I want a multiplayer thing that like we can get into that's like really awesome and do like a cooperative like story mission. That would be cool. That's what
I'd like to see. Something like Jedi Fallen Order. I've played through a good amount of it so far, and it's really good. But I do like my multiplayer experiences. I think something like another EA published game, A Way Out, would be really cool.
Yeah, that was actually a really good job of having a game that you didn't even have to buy the full copy if you didn't want to, as just the partner in crime to that. So that was a nice game to do that type of stuff with. Play the whole thing by yourself if you want, or have co-op with it and play co-op through the entire story mission. I think that's the best way to go with a lot of these games. I don't know why more of them don't do it. Because it doesn't change anything if you have the person with you or you just do single player. You can just have the AI take over. It's fine.
Yeah, that playing A Way Out is like that was like a really I've never played a game like that before as far as the multiplayer aspect goes. Like the story was pretty, I don't know, I would say it was pretty run-of-the-mill, but the fact that you were playing it with another person, you were playing this like really like interesting crime drama with your friend with you throughout every step of the way. You could see what they were doing like at all times. that was really, really cool.
And actually having to work together to accomplish a common goal.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
With actual, like, skill and, like, forethought involved with it. Because it wasn't something that you could just casually play through and let the game kind of lead the way. Like, it take you through it step by step. That took a lot of communication skills.
Yeah, and the ending was really good, too.
Well, that was something different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Star Wars could use more, like, multiplayer experiences like that besides Battlefront.
Mm-hmm. And then probably, I don't know, something else. A third type of media, whether it be maybe another animated series. A lot of people seem to like the Clone Wars. I never watched it. I kind of should probably watch it if it's any good anyways, but
it's supposed to be pretty good, but they've got the final season running right now on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I've seen it on Disney Plus. I haven't watched it yet. I'm really excited to see. I hope that these other Marvel Disney originals are something that we can go along the lines and say, okay, now do this for Star Wars. Something other than The Mandalorian, because I haven't been able to finish it, and it's because it's going to take all the effort in the world to probably just have to start from the beginning, because it's been too long since I've watched halfway through the last episode that I did see. Yeah. And I don't have the motivation for it. It didn't captivate me as much as I had hoped. And I don't think I can at this point now. It's like, well, fine. Water under the bridge. It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm finished.
It's not something that you can't go back and watch anyway, you know? If you wanted to sit down for a couple days and just watch through it, yeah, it's there.
It's there. It's just I don't have the motivation to do it because it didn't captivate me as much as it should have. I want something that will. And if it's a Disney Plus original or if it's something else, I don't care as long as it's good. Trilogy would be great if they did a good one. I don't know if they can. And it's probably too soon. And they don't need to do it just because people want them to do it and they want to make money off of it. They need to have a captivating reason to actually do it and not just be money hungry about it.
Oh, this is Disney we're talking about. It's going to be it's a little bit of a stretch for them.
I know. It's the kings and queens of doing live action remakes of crap that doesn't need to be remade and honestly ruining it, or at least if they can do one that would be like 10 times better than the original, I'm all for it. But none of them have been better than the original in my opinion so far.
No.
Some of them
I still haven't watched that Lion King one. I'm not sure if I want to.
It's okay.
I probably will.
It's okay.
The Aladdin one was all right. That's probably about all I can say.
I give Will Smith huge credit to doing the genie as well as he did, because I honestly didn't think anybody would be able to do that, and he managed to do it.
I still don't think he did it as good as Robin Williams did, but he did put his own Will Smith flair on it.
Yes,
I will say that,
and it was nice. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
As far as I'm concerned, I agree with you. I mean, eventually I do want another trilogy, but it's considering I don't want to call it a disaster, but the major embarrassment that the last trilogy was. I think like we said in our Star Wars episode, that they need to pull a plan together and stick to it.
Yes. Please.
I would like to see more TV shows. I think that would be cool. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed The Mandalorian. It was good. But I want to see more beyond that.
Yes.
Like a Darth Vader TV show, or like the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show that's eventually coming out. God knows when now. Yeah, I think more TV shows is honestly the way that they should go right now. They need to give the movies a rest. Like, it was really cool as a Star Wars fan being able to go and see all of these movies in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
But they did not live up to the hype.
No. And the more time that has passed, the more I've slowly more aligned with your thinking that it's fading fast. It's more nostalgia at this point, but for other reasons than the movie itself, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, like, would I wait and not see these movies in the theaters? Absolutely not. I think that was still a nice experience because neither of us had ever seen any of these movies in the theaters before. Like, I guess I wasn't too young to go see the first, second, and third in theaters, but I don't know if I would have been, like, interested enough in it, I guess.
I certainly wouldn't have been.
But I think I was, like, right at the right age to have these come out and enjoy the theater experience, whether or not I, in retrospect, enjoyed the actual movie or not. I did enjoy sitting in the theater. But yeah, TV shows I think are the way that they need to go for now. And more cool video game experiences like Jedi Fallen Order or something like A Way Out like we talked about before.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Okay, so what did you bring? What do you got?
Alrighty, so I've been dealing with a lot of this lately, and there was something to the fact that this stupid virus may or may not actually have somewhat of a long-lasting influence on pricing, either it being opportunistic, dare I say, price gouging, which is illegal. In the case of
the masks, yeah.
Or whether it be legit supply chain issues where supply and demand has completely drove prices up because there is no supply and yet there is tons of demand. But the basic gist of that was finding a deal. When do you know that a deal is a deal? When do you know that you should just buy it and stop waiting for like that last magical $5-10 off of like a $250 product or something like that? Measly percentage points more of a discount, and just bite the bullet and just buy the stupid thing and get it over with. That way you don't run into issues where it could go up or it never gets that last $5 that you're looking for, or you waited so long that, well, now the thing is pointless and obsolete. Something new is coming out which is going to kick its butt, or you've could have had it the whole 7-8 months since launch, and now you've just wasted all that time. You could have had the product, enjoyed the product, and been done with it. When is enough, and just buy the blessed thing and stop penny pinching everything? Because I feel like that's all people are doing these days, is penny pinching the last blessed dollar out of everything, and they wait for sales on other things besides computer parts, like appliances and things. And then they come back a week later, oh, I missed the sale, can I have it for that price? And it's like, why would you think it's going to get any cheaper? Is another $10 off of a $2,000 product really going to make a difference? No. Like, come on, guys. If you're talking half off, that's one thing. But when you're already at such a low cost versus what it normally is, why are you going to haggle over another measly 1 or 2%?
Listen, I feel like my philosophy for this would be you look at it, you look and see how much it normally is. If it's worth it to you, just buy it. If you really want to wait like 2 or 3 days to see if something happens, if it's like an online deal or whatever, Because, sometimes that happens. But don't weight yourself into a hole, because if this is something that you really want and you've been waiting for a while, you've got the cash for it, and now it's on sale, you can save yourself a little bit of money. Just do it.
Just do it. Please. Don't come to me 5 days after a sale ends and say, I want this. Can I have it for the price that it was last week? It's like, no, that deal ended. We were specifically explicit that deal ended. And we said it's not going to get any cheaper. This is the biggest sale until probably the next major holiday. Next week, it's liable to go up. Why would you go and whine about an extra... Oh, it could have dropped $50. Who cares? It's a $2,000 product. What is $50 going to make or break the bank? If it is, then I argue that you're over shopping anyways, and maybe we need to talk about like $1,000 product.
Or, less than that.
Or if a $400 CPU is going to break the bank, but $370 isn't, you're lying to yourself.
Exactly.
Is $400 really that much more than $370 in the grand scheme of things? You're going to wait 6 months for it to drop $30 measly dollars?
Especially if that $400 CPU kicks the $370 CPU's butt.
Exactly. So that was the discussion I wanted to have. When's enough, and when is it just time to buy and be done with it?
Yeah, I think if you're looking at something and it goes on sale, you've got the money for it, just do it. Pull the trigger.
Then be done with it.
It's not going to get any cheaper. Okay. I mean, if it does, then you can shoot me in the foot or whatever. I'll cut my foot off and eat it. But I very, very much doubt that is going to be the case like 99% of the time.
Or you wait yourself in a hole too long, and something like this happens where everything may very drastically go back up because of an unforeseen thing that nobody saw coming. I mean, maybe some people did. God knows there's conspiracy theorists out there that say this is an engineered thing that's meant for population control. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. We're not.
No.
Just say it was unforeseen, and now this is happening. You think anything's going to be as cheap as it was during the last 3 weeks? 6 months from now? The way they're escalating this nonsense?
Nah.
If they'd shut up about it and just leave it be, it probably wouldn't have been this bad. If they'd shut up 2 weeks ago when we barely discussed it on the last... We discussed it on the last one, and I kind of laughed at it, thinking, oh, well, this will end pretty soon. Here we are, almost 3 weeks later, and the freaking Dow Jones is having a heart attack because these investors are cutting all the expectations the rest of the year because they don't know if these companies are going to have product to sell because nothing's getting out of China. I think I'm done with that one. Rant over. I've had a long day.
Okay, well, now we're going to get into the more leisurely part of the podcast where we take a look at some trailers that have come out lately. We give you our reactions to them, whether we think we're going to go see the movie or not. When we're going to go see the movie, like whether that be in the theaters or wait for it to come out on Amazon Rental or whatever. Yeah. So first trailer we've got is for Candyman.
Before we do that, the movie that we were talking about the last time that we thought we really wanted to go see, Knives Out. I've heard it's really, really good.
Yeah, so have I. It's out. It's rentable now.
Oh, good. We're gonna have to do that.
When you come here, I think that's what we should watch.
Amongst other things. Okay, now for Candyman.
Yes.
Candyman. The urban legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Who would do that?
Candyman. 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 Candyman.
Well, we're still alive.
Okay. Oof.
That was... Oof. That was intense.
Yeah. So, as a child, I'd always heard about this, and I think Bell Witch 3 times into a mirror. is I'm not really superstitious on most things, but my brain will not allow me to attempt this at all. Period. Have you ever tried it?
No. I've never tried any of these like mirror things.
Would you?
I'm not about it. Would
yes.
I?
Could you? Because I can't. I could not.
If I forced myself, I probably could, but I don't know. I'm not superstitious per se, but on the off chance that something were to happen,
that's the thing.
I'm not about it.
The off chance.
I'm not about it.
Like, I don't believe this would happen, but good God help me if something did.
Listen, it's like the primal fight or flight part of your brain.
Well,
that's like going off with this.
I am flying away on that one. I am not attempting this. But the movie looks really good.
The movie does look really, and it's from Jordan Peele.
Oh boy!
It's produced by Jordan Peele, directed by who was it? Nia DaCosta?
Yes.
I think.
What was the other thing? Didn't we just watch something or look at something?
Not from Jordan Peele. No.
What's his last big thing?
I don't think we watched the trailer.
He was known for.
He did Get Out and Us.
Okay.
Those were the two big movies that he did. Get Out was a few years ago.
Gotcha.
And Us was like last year, the year before last.
Okay. So it comes out in June. Do you think you want to go see it in June? Or is this one of those wait till Redbox or whatever?
I think this is probably one of those wait until it comes out on rental. Not because I don't want to see it in theaters, but because I would rather see it in my house where I can keep the lights on. That's it.
Okay. I gotcha.
Okay, so next we've got Run.
You do everything for me. You teach me. You cook for me.
Am I a burden?
Sweetheart,
I could do more.
I'm your mom. It's my job to take care of you when you need me. And you need me.
Help me out with this. What exactly is going on here?
Okay, so from what I'm gathering, I feel like this is like a case of maybe like infant kidnapping or something like that. And this lady's just like doped this kid up for so long that she doesn't, I mean, she's grown up with her anyway, so I don't know why she needs to dope her up, but that she's like, she doesn't realize that anything is wrong with this lady, but having found, I guess she found her birth certificate or like a name change or something like that. And so she starts suspecting that something is going on with her quote-unquote mom.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks interesting though.
Yeah, it does. It looks interesting. I guess that kind of makes sense.
It's really hard to comprehend exactly what they're going for with the trailer.
Yeah, because I was wondering, is she? Because she's obviously paraplegic. She's paralyzed or something. I was wondering, are they going for a kind of she's not type of scenario where her mother's treated an illness that doesn't exist all these years and
like a Munchausen syndrome
exactly.
kind of thing.
I knew there was a phrase for it, but I couldn't think of what it was. Or is it what you said? Is she just completely nuts and the child is just not noticed all these years because she's been heavily medicated and now her eyes have awoken?
I don't know. That's something we'll have to wait and see. This is probably one that I'm gonna wait to see in the in like Amazon just because I don't know. It looks interesting, but it's not interesting enough for me to want to go see it in theaters.
I'd see Candyman before I saw that. As much as I wouldn't want to.
Okay, so this is actually I'm going to skip over this one because this is for an Apple TV Plus show. I just realized. So nix that one. We're going to watch the Postcard Killings trailer.
Someone mutilated our daughter. Find him.
Postcard turned up at a newspaper in Paris, and in Hamburg, and in Budapest.
He announces his arrival in the city with a postcard.
That was different too.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the idea though. Imitating art, making sculptures.
Life imitates art. It's interesting.
Sends a postcard, gives you advanced warning. Courteous.
If nothing else,
Like, honey, I'm home. Or something like that.
Don't mind me, just gonna murder a couple people.
Just another day in paradise.
That's right. Just another day on this good old planet Earth.
God help us all. C.
I think this is a wait for rental movie for me.
I would agree.
It's definitely interesting, and I'm probably going to keep my eye out for it, but not a see in theater type of movie for me. I don't think.
That sucks. None of these are see in movie type theaters this week.
Well, I mean, Candyman would be, except I'm a little wary of watching it in the theater.
Be that guy that comes into the theater, sees somebody who's terrified of the movie, and stick a mirror in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be a dick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So last trailer we've got is for The Warrant.
What'd you think of that one?
That's pretty interesting.
Kind of reminded me somewhat of The Patriot and stuff like that. I really liked it.
Yeah, a little bit. It doesn't look like it's a huge budget movie, but
it doesn't.
Is it? Hold on, is there a release date? Oh, no. Available now exclusively on Vudu, so we could watch it right now if we wanted to. Huh. Interesting. It does look really, really interesting. This might be something that we have to watch for the podcast.
I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something, and it totally flew out my head.
Well, cool. That's
I can't. I don't know what it was. Don't you hate that?
Yeah. No, that sucks. But it's on you. It's your fault.
Everything's my fault.
Why would you forget it?
Django. That's what it was. It was like...
Oh, yeah. It reminds me a lot of Django.
That's what I was trying to say.
Well, it's not... It doesn't look as stylized.
No.
As far as the violence
that
goes.
Was definitely a higher budget, more thrills type of action. But I think I like the storyline that this is trying to follow.
The storyline, it's got an interesting setting too. I think it'll be pretty interesting if we ever decide to watch it.
Alrighty, that was it, right? That's all of them. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. All right, guys, that is going to be the end of this episode. Thanks for watching or listening, whatever the case may be. Whatever. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. This episode of Podcast Period was produced and hosted by Ben, co-hosted and edited by David. You can find Ben on Twitter at BenPlaysVidjas. That's Ben Plays VIDYAS. And you can find David at Car6by16. You can find the show on Twitter at Podcast Period or email us at podcastperiod@gmail.com. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening.
This was a Nerdgasm podcast production.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
Served at nerdgasmpodcast.com.